Krypto. Home.
It's a bird! You thought I was gonna do the thing? Nope. But what I am gonna do is break down the trailers to the upcoming Superman movie. But first, can you like and subscribe? It would really help. All right, let's go. Superman has always been cool, but if I'm being honest, my favorite superhero franchise has got to be Guardians of the Galaxy.
Dance off, bro. Me and you.
And that is 100% because of the king, James Gunn. He perfectly directed this trilogy. I don't care what anyone says. And I know, just like every trilogy, there's ones that people like better and ones that people think is the weak one. It's just the nature of these things.
Empire is still the best.
James Gunn is obviously a fan of superhero comic books and makes a good movie. And now that he's CEO of DC Studios, I think that we are in for an awesome experience that might give new life to the superhero genre. Marvel just isn't what it once was. Not because the movies have gotten worse per se, it's because the story ended.
It's over.
Which is fine that it's over. We loved the Avengers, but Marvel and Disney have to realize that these movies are starting to feel kind of like cash grabs.
I love the money.
But this isn't about Disney and Marvel. This is about James Gunn's recreation of the DC universe. If anyone can do that, it's him. He assembled an amazing cast and the graphics look pretty good so far. I don't know if I can get over Guy Gardner's haircut, but source material, you know? We'll talk about him a little bit more in just a bit. I do, however, have a few worries about this movie. One is that it seems like a lot of world building for one movie. James Gunn is either expecting us to know a lot of DC characters, which honestly is kind of refreshing. We do understand the basics of these kind of movies, and we're coming directly out of the Snyderverse.
We wanted you to learn what it meant to be human first. So that one day, when the time was right, you could be the bridge between two peoples.
So we get it. There might be a few things that we just need to know. Because if they have to explain Superman and Lois are in love, there's Green Lanterns, Hawkgirl exists, there are other superheroes like Mr. Terrific, and there's villains like Lex Luthor. That's a lot for one movie. And I mean, Krypto the Superdog has never been in a live action movie that I know of, and I'm not going to expect people to have seen DC's Titans. I'm sure that we'll see a hint about Batman, but I don't think that we're going to see Batman. And another but, I don't see them not explaining some things for the younger audience because they have to sell toys.
I love the money.
Honestly, I bet the toys will slap.
Don't say that.
The second worry I have is that the world might be a little bit superhero fatigued. In a world that has put out so many superhero movies that Kraven the Hunter and Blue Beetle got their own titles, it really seems too soon to start this universe over again. And I know the wheels of capitalism have to turn, but I think it's time for new IPs and new stories. I always go back to Mad Max Fury Road.
I live, I die, I live again.
It's a good movie, but people were so starved for a different story that they made Fury Road into this whole empowerment thing, which is cool. See what you see, that's fine. But Fury Road is still just Fast and the Furious in an apocalypse. Everyone was just so happy to have a different plot in an action movie for once. And again, I liked Fury Road. It's just not a movie that's gonna change my way of thinking.
We send off my war rig to bring back gasoline from Cashtown.
Maybe I'm just not a deep enough person. Either way, those are just worries. None of that means that this won't be an amazing Superman movie. Let's break down the trailer to see what this new universe holds. Hey, hold on guys, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt myself, but I would be really upset with myself if I didn't let you know that they put me back in this box until we get 100,000 subscribers, and I was just hoping that maybe you could subscribe right now and like the video, and then that would get me, you know, freedom, and you would be doing a really good deed. So just subscribe down there, and I get to give, you know, go outside. it would mean a lot, thank you. The trailer starts with Superman crashing hard into the ice. I'm guessing this is somewhere in the Arctic and close to the Fortress of Solitude. You'll understand why in a second, just hold on. He's wheezing. And it's not looking good, and as we all know, it takes a lot to hurt this guy. So whatever happened must have been epic. I have a theory that it has something to do with Lex Luthor coming out of this helicopter, and it also looks like it might be in the North Pole. Just a reminder, I'm gonna drop a bunch of crazy theories, so just comment below if you agree or if you think I'm nuts. We hear him wheezing, meaning that hit must have really hurt. I have a theory on why he's hurt, but we'll get to it. First, I have another theory about Superman in general, that when it comes to the physical aspects of life, Superman has never felt any fear. He could get hit by a car at full speed and it wouldn't even tickle Superman. So when he is actually hurt, wouldn't you think that would be terrifying to him? I mean, imagine the first time he felt pain. That must have been crazy. Assuming that this is an origin movie and this is the first real test for Superman, I think that this is Superman's life flashing before his eyes. You continue to hear the wheezing as you see Clark Kent walking into work. Also, let's get something very clear. The glasses aren't the disguise. I am so tired of the idea that people are fooled by the glasses and slightly different hair.
People ever tell you you look like Superman?
The disguise is supposed to be so much deeper than that.
Kent! Where does he go?
Clark Kent is clumsy, nerdy, and lacks even the basic amount of confidence, and deals with the only thing that scares Superman: social situations. It's one of the things that the Zack Snyder Superman always did wrong.
Most of the world doesn't share your opinion, Mr. Wayne.
I just think that the world was distracted by Cavill doing this American Bond thing, which was cool, but we know now that it didn't really work, right?
Just a first impression.
And on the other hand, Superman is that dude. He's confident and stoic. He gives hero energy and he never breaks a sweat. He saves the world over and over again and never asks for a thank you.
You're scared of me because you can't control me. You don't, and you never will.
So when you meet Clark, you think, wow, he kind of looks like Superman, but that guy? Nah, that's not Superman. So stop with the glasses crap. It's more about his attitude. Anyways, back to the trailer. Like I said, I think that his life is flashing before his eyes. We see the moments that matter the most to Clark. Being late for work on the first day, but meeting the most amazing woman named Lois. And a moment with Pa Kent on the front porch at the farm in Smallville, who's being played by Pruitt Taylor Vince. He's one of those character actors that you see and think, oh, this is gonna be a good movie, but you never go learn his name.
What?
Edward, please.
Jesus Christ!
I'm not gonna lie, what I'm about to say is dumb, but the amount of flannel in this scene is offensive to farmers.
Farmers, Rose, farmers.
But after remembering why these people mean so much to him, Superman gets the strength to try one last thing to save himself. He whistles. Suddenly, we see a plume of snow, and we hear the sound of galloping or running. Whatever it is, it's moving insanely fast.
Krypto.
Oh dang, we are introduced to Krypto the Superdog. A little backstory on the dog. Krypto was first written into the comics back in 1955. Not really intended to stick around, but he was used over and over again before becoming a fan favorite. It's pretty simple. Just like Superman, being from Krypton makes him basically a human. And if they were on Krypton, he would have the same strengths and weaknesses that a human does on Earth. So Clark looks like a human and Krypto looks just like a dog. They get to Earth and suddenly they have superpowers because of the way their bodies absorb the radiation from the yellow sunlight.
He'll be a god to them.
This allows Superman and Krypto to have the same superpowers. Now, big question. Why hasn't Krypto been in the movies? Well, traditionally, it's pretty hard to work with dogs in a meaningful way in movies. It isn't until recently with new CGI that movies have come out that can really tell a story that feels less one-sided, except Homeward Bound.
I'm too old.
That's not true.
There's nothing you can't do.
I have nothing more to give, Chance. And it's time for you to be on your own.
Don't ever talk about Homeward Bound.
Peter.
Shadow!
Oh, Peter.
I'm not crying, you're crying. Anyways, another reason why you haven't seen Krypto is that most directors and writers think that a superpowered dog will make the movie silly or at least slightly less believable. Not James Gunn. He realizes that this movie is already completely impossible, so let's have some fun. And you think that a superpowered dog is gonna scare James Gunn?
I ain't scared of you, mother.
James Gunn was already an amazing director, but without a doubt he's most famous for Guardians of the Galaxy, that we now know was really the story of Rocket.
My beloved raccoon.
This story has been yours all along. You just didn't know it.
I'm not crying, you're crying. And for those of you who don't know who Rocket is, one, how did you find your way to this page? And second, Rocket is a raccoon that was experimented on and had his intelligence uplifted.
I didn't ask to be torn apart and put back together over and over and turned into some little monster.
As a character, he's layered and he grows emotionally throughout the trilogy, finally coming to terms with what happened to him and finds a family to belong to. On top of that, there's a superpowered dog named Cosmo.
I cannot hold.
And by the end, we're rooting for her too.
She's a good dog.
So boom, there's two examples of animals that were done correctly by James Gunn and don't feel any goofier than the rest of the movie, and it works.
I knew you believe I'm good dog.
So with that being said, I don't think we should be worried about Krypto in this new Superman movie. He'll be awesome just like Cosmo or Rocket.
Home. Take me home.
Back to the trailer, Superman gets Krypto to grab his cape and take him home.
It's gonna be a bumpy ride.
It's unclear if home is in Kansas or just back to the Fortress of Solitude. Next, we see Superman saving a child from an explosion of tanks after a giant monster stomps on it. Should we skip to the giant monster?
Do it!
It's way out of order, are you sure?
Just do it!
Okay, we can skip to the giant monster. I know Blake's World fans love a good kaiju. At some point in the movie, for some reason, Superman is attacked by this giant kaiju. It's big, and it breathes fire, and it looks like it'd be tough even for Gypsy Danger.
Empty the clip! Empty the clip!
And of course, I have another theory about this big fella. This is actually the opening of the movie. I think that James Gunn is going to pay homage to his friend Zack Snyder by having a very Watchmen-style intro. Maybe with his own style, but quickly catching the audience up on the way this universe works. There's Mr. Terrific, a super genius that's out fighting for justice. Hawk Girl fighting from above, and of course Superman is already a symbol of hope.
Superman.
This hope infuriates Lex Luthor, the billionaire owner of LexCorp. So Lex uses his superpowers, the power of influence, against Superman. The court of public opinion is a tough place that even Superman with all of his power is vulnerable. And I think to help him through this, Guy Gardner shows up, played by Nathan Fillion. Also, Guy Gardner instead of Hal Jordan is a interesting choice.
No, it's good.
It's just that Guy Gardner is kind of the wild card of the main three Green Lanterns. More of an angry type of hothead than Hal Jordan. Superman is fighting someone in a black suit, and of course I have my theories on that. I think that this is Lex Luthor in his power armor. However, even with the classic green, it still feels very much like Iron Man.
Well, this suit's already kicked the crap out of the Hulk.
So I think Lex Luthor finally loses it. His plans to ruin or beat Superman always fail. Over and over again, Superman wins the fight and the hearts of millions. But this time, he'll show him.
And I'll show them.
Either way, I think this fight is going to take a lot out of Superman, and I don't expect Lex to fight fair. As for Lois, she's the most important person in Superman's life, and keeps Clark grounded, and their love story has always been iconic. So I have no problem there, and I've never seen Rachel Brosnahan in anything that she wasn't amazing in. And this goofy thing that I'm not gonna entertain, that people are upset with Superman's face while he's flying, I think it looks great, and Superman is the most powerful being on Earth.
I feel like I live in a world made of cardboard.
His face shouldn't move with the air rushing by. He doesn't feel inertia. So what I'm saying is if you put a leaf blower up to Clark's face, he probably wouldn't feel it, or wait, would he feel it more than us? Interesting thought. Either way, I cannot wait for this movie. Comment below with what you think, and I will see you for the movie breakdown, Superman fans. Peace. Hey, thanks for watching. Click here for more videos, and subscribe to keep up with all the Blake's World updates. I'd appreciate it. All right, I'll see you next time.